Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing a review for you today on the Revlon Colorstay Liquid Eye Pen. So this is different from other Revlon Colorstay eyeliner products. There are two that I've talked about in the past that I have loved so much, and it's their regular pencil liner that kind of twists up in numerous shades, and also their liquid liner. So this product really had a lot to live up to in my eyes. So I'm just going to describe it for you first, and then I'll tell you what I think so far. Basically, this is, according to the packaging, which I try to hold on to if I know I'm going to review something, I have this in, the shade is Blackest Black. Remember that. I'll come back to that. It says, our unique flow-through felt tip pen provides controlled application to create a precise line, blah, blah, blah. Wears up to 16 hours, won't smudge or smear all day. 16 hours is generally the claim with a lot of these Colorstay products, so basically you've got this thing that really looks like you could toss it in with your little, pen or pencil jar and it would fit right in basically, and the cap is very tight on there, so that's a good sign to me in terms of how long this may last before drying up, because that cap really is tight. And then this is what the tip looks like. It's a very, very fine felt tip, and I find these to be very easy to work with in my experience, because, and you may say, well, that tip sure looks a lot like, basically like this tip does on the traditional liquid liner. However, I think there's some added ease with something like this because you don't have to worry about going back to the container. You can be sitting here and working with your line and then kind of mess with it some more, and you never have to break away from your concentration, which some people probably get into when they're doing liquid liner, and go back to the stuff, So this is a very good thing for a beginner in terms of using that kind of a tip. So now sort of for my take on this. First off, ease in application. Once again, I give that a very good grade. I found this so easy to use. However, the shade is Blackest Black, if you can see that. What would you expect that to be? Just about as black as you could get, probably? Well, I used this for a tutorial not too long ago, which you may have seen, and I kind of commented, okay, this is like kind of watered down almost. It's not a true black, and it also, I don't want to have to go back over my eyeliner line, and even sometimes when I did, it didn't totally make that much difference. And especially if you're going over a light shimmery shade, which chances are more often than not I'm going to have that kind of shade on my lid, drawing over that with this, it's kind of a challenge. It won't just show up, true pigmented black like this one will every time, no matter what. So to give you a little frame of reference here, on my hand, on this side, is the Revlon Colorstay, the pen that I'm reviewing here. And right next to that, right here, is the traditional Revlon Colorstay liquid liner. So you can see, I can definitely see in person that this is not nearly as dark as that. This was one stroke, guys. I didn't go over one of them more. I just clearly wanted to show you what the difference is between these two. And you might be saying, well, the fact that it's not very black doesn't really matter to me. So if that is not an issue for you and you are a beginner with eyeliner, this may be a good thing to use. However, if you've used liner for a while, you're comfortable with liquid liner, you're comfortable with this sort of format, this is the way to go. This is the best I've ever tried. It truly stays on. It's very black if that's what you're looking for, and just works really, really well. So I can't give this a better review. This is just great in my eyes, but this, they need to work on it, and I'm just not sure if it's possible to turn out something quite as, great as that through this, because if you're continually going over shadows with this, the tip will not always remain the same. It loses quality. I've used these kind of things before. Something that I cannot vouch for right now is how long this will last before drying up. In my past experience, they haven't lasted very long, so I will keep an eye on that and I'll keep you posted. Maybe I'll post it on my blog the day that this runs out on me, because I'll keep, you know, finding ways to work it in, because I do want to figure out after a semi-regular use for you guys how long this will truly last. And that might make a big difference to some of you, because you don't want to have to repurchase this over and over again. This cost, in my local Walgreens, it cost around $8. Like I said, if you're a beginner, if you like that felt tip pen design and the intensity doesn't matter to you so much, that might be a good thing. But if you're really looking for high quality liner and, you know, you want that rich black shade, which those are the two I'm comparing, both are in blackest black, go for something like this. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in for this review. If I left any questions unanswered, feel free to ask me about it, and I hope you have a great day.